Hi everyone, this is Ellen Thompson-Jennings, the Family History Hound, and I am so excited that I think I have broken down one of my brick walls using FamilySearch Full Text Search. So first let me show you how I did it, and then maybe it can help you. But then I will tell you a little bit of a story and show you what I found. So let's have a look. So here we are at the home page for FamilySearch. FamilySearch launched full text search in 2024, and when it first started out, it was primarily U.S. records. I didn't do a lot of searching, but then they started putting some Canadian records in there, and I do have another video that I will link in at the end of this video, so you can look at that as well. But anyways, they've made it a little bit easier to find the full text search. So if you go to the search button and click, you'll find right on the second item is full text search. And you go there. And then you can use keywords, a name, places, year, and images, depending on what you want. A lot of times I think that less is more. So sometimes if you get too drilled down, it makes it harder to find things. But so like I have done searches where I've just used the name Middleborough, which is one of my surnames. And then I can put Canada if I want to just separate it a little bit down or narrow it a little bit down and do a search that way. What it'll do, it'll give you the results. And so you see, in this case, I have 62 results. I can then drill down by collections, and it will give me a full range of what kind of collections it might be in. Or I can use the year. So it tells me that there's 49 in the 1800s and 13 in the 1900s. I can look at places. So I can look specifically at Canada records, because somehow or other some of them might say Canada in these other records, but this one are specifically for Canada. And then the record types, and then again it tells you all the different types. So you can see how this can be very handy. So how it works is that FamilySearch has gone through and digitized thousands and probably millions of records, but they are not indexed. But they did use artificial intelligence to go through and make transcriptions of all these things. So say, for instance, if I click on this one, it will actually bring up that document, and there will be the full text search on the side, and it will highlight all the times the person's name is in that document and the search terms that I put in. So it's made it much easier to find your people right in the records, even though they haven't been indexed per se. So let me get back to my story. So here's my story. If you've gone to my blog, which is called Hound on the Hunt, you'll see that I have blogged about my Beaton Batten Mystery for many, many years. And so the mystery is that my great-grandfather was, initially I didn't even know he was adopted, but eventually I realized that he was adopted, and he was adopted by the Beaton family, and his sister was adopted by the Batten family, and they both lived in Kingston, Ontario, both families. So really that was the end of the story for my genealogy. When I realized that he was adopted, because I didn't know who his parents were. Well, along came DNA, and then I started seeing quite a few matches that came from Oxfordshire, England. And then I started seeing patterns, and I started building trees for these DNA matches, and I came to the conclusion that I was looking for the combination of DNA of Bayliss and Walden. And I finally found a couple named Walter Walden and Eliza Bayliss that got married. Now, I've talked about Walter. He was the kind of guy that was always in the newspaper because he was always getting in trouble. And he, in the last court document that I could find for him in Oxfordshire, he was saying that he was getting married on Monday and that he was going to immigrate. But I could never find him immigrating. And so I just wanted to show you that this little boy is Willie Beaton, who is my great-grandfather, and he was adopted. So anyways, so that was kind of where I was stalled, because I couldn't find any immigration records where he was immigrating to Canada, the US, Australia. I couldn't find anything until today. Now let me say one thing though. Walter Walden, I can find Walter Walden in the newspaper in Kingston, Ontario for the right time period. And guess what? That Walter Walden is always in trouble and he's always in the court. And I could find him, but I couldn't connect him to how he got to Canada and anything to do with the family. So until today. So here we are back at FamilySearch, and I'm looking at full text search. And in my search, I have put Walter Walden. I've put quotations because I would like the Walter and the Walden to be together. I've put Canada. So I've gotten 40 results. So then if I click on place, I can choose Canada. And then I know I'm looking for Ontario records because I'm looking for Kingston. But I only get Bruce and Middlesex. But anyways, I apply. And I'm getting all of those things. And you'll see here, I have Ontario immigration record, 1862 to 1891, and it says Walter Walden. Cool. And so I wasn't really excited because, I didn't think it was the right person or the right record, but imagine my surprise. So I click on the record and there is Walter Walden, and it says that he is a groom. I'm not sure about that. That's why I was a little hesitant when I first looked at this. And it does give some information about, where he was going. And so not a lot of information, but if I scroll to the top, guess what? It says Registry of Immigrants Landing at the Port of Kingston. Oh, interesting. And we're talking about 1872, and that is the time period that I'm looking for. But I didn't get too excited because, Walter Walden might be not that uncommon a name. So I go back to my search and I searched some more. And guess what? I found another Ontario immigration record. And so I clicked on that one. Now, the reason why 1872 is important is that's when Walter Walden married Eliza Bayliss. And through DNA, I've also realized that, Willie had a sister, and her name was Annie, and she appears to have been born in England, although I can't find her for whatever reason. And so these people have been really elusive for me. But anyways, so I believe that she was born before Willie and that Willie was born in Canada, in Kingston, just like he said on every other record. So anyways, getting back to my immigration record, you'll see this is 1872. And when we go down, and now it's not highlighted in this case for whatever reason, and it's saying it's the SS Emperor. And if we look right here, there's Walter Walden. And guess where he's from? He's from Oxfordshire. Now this is getting exciting. He's a laborer. And then if we scroll across, you'll see 132. And you can also see that it says he's going to Kingston City. So the significance of the 132 is if we go to the top of the columns, and 1 is infants, female, 1. Souls, 3 is the 3 of them. So the the mother, the father, and the child, and 2 adults. So that could be Walter, Walden, and Eliza with their baby Annie. I'm so excited. This is so amazing. I mean, it still doesn't give me everything that I need. It's just one more little crumb that I can use to put the story together of this family, and makes me feel like I'm one step closer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you take the time to do a full text search and see what you can find in your family history, and maybe you will get a little bit of a dent in your brick wall just like I did today. Thanks, and have a great day.